March 24th, 2019. So I'm in here in the greenhouse doing some cleaning and some organizing, getting some space cleaned up on the benches here. Got a few more things to move around a bit here, and a few other components for springtime season to bring in. But I'm doing a video here real quick. I actually ran in and grabbed the camera so I could catch this because I realized this is a good opportunity. So I cleaned out the old beefsteak tomato that was infested with white flies and dying, and I hadn't cared for it, and low light and lots of reasons. Anyway, I pulled it out, and there's a nice volunteer catnip in here, so I'm leaving that for now. Big beautiful leaves. Big beautiful leaves. And some of the soil in the bottom of this pot was some super soil that a friend gave me. It was a good mix of trace mineral nutrition and rock dusts and seaweeds and kelps and you name it. Good stuff. So that's why that plant is blowing up. And I was looking at this planter and thinking that it's time to get a few more of these larger rosemary going, because rosemary is one I want to take to market, and so I need some bigger plants so I can harvest like crazy and not cut them back too much. So I thought this would be a good planter for that, and I selected a rosemary plant. It's nice and vigorous and healthy. I'll stand it back up for a moment for you. You can see that thing's cranking, and look at all the overload here. This has been in under this bench under here for probably 3 months, so kind of starved for light, but I've made sure it stayed watered and fed, at least enough to keep it rolling. But it needs a good prune back, so I got looking at it and realizing how much prune back it needs to really come back to a nice, clean, healthy plant. And it's small enough that I figured I could fit it into this planter. So what I'm going to go into today is transplanting for something that's root bound. I'm going to discuss root bound a little bit, and I'm going to discuss another option as far as how to handle root bound plants if you want to keep plants from becoming root bound and not go to a bigger pot. I tend to go to bigger pots. I like more soil available, more nutrition, more root space. Always keeping in mind, of course, that truly healthy plants should be somewhere around 4 times as much root mass under the soil as there is plant mass above the soil. So that means you want lots of space for roots when you can. And I can, because I have a greenhouse. So this rosemary plant, as I showed you, is doing really well. And I'll just show you the stem here quick. Let me throw the headlight on so you get a good view. So you can see that's about the size of my thumb, and the other one's probably pinky, and it's a double. And on the bottom, it's, let me get you right side up. And on the bottom, it's quite root bound. You can see where the hole in the pot was here. I'll just show you that quick for reference. And you can see where the roots had come through even last summer and dug down into native soil. And then when I moved it, of course, that pruned them back. But you can see that it's basically all root mass on the bottom, and it's starting to climb up the sides and become really quite root bound. So 2 things you can do. What I'm going to do we'll discuss second, but the other option is you could take a pot like this where you just took it. This is the pot it came out of. You could take a pot like the pot it just came out of, and I'm just using this pot for space so I can get this new plant in. But you would put, say, 2 to 3 inches of soil on the bottom of this, and you can come back and cut, say, 2 to 3 inches off the bottom of this plant. This one I probably wouldn't take that much. I probably would do like maybe 1.5 inches max. And basically what you're doing is a root prune. So you do the root prune, and then you go back in on top of 2 to 3 inches of new soil underneath, and this way it doesn't get root bound. Those roots will come back and grow back, and they grow down again, and every 6 months or every year or so you pull it out, do a root prune, and also do in conjunction with that an upper prune, not a heavy one, a relatively light one, to help keep that, to help give it a tip in the direction favoring rooting hormones so that it'll grow new roots back out rapidly. In conjunction with that, I personally would put some C-stim on it to help build plant immunity and to help trigger a little bit more in that rooting hormone direction. That's a product from Advancing Eco Agriculture. If you're not familiar, you should go check out their website. They have a lot of excellent information, and they really understand plant nutrition and plant health. That said, what I'm going to do is transplant this over into this pot here. If you were doing a root prune, you could basically just take a knife or a saw, something real simple, even like an old bow saw, and just saw this off and plunk it into the pot and do your upper prune, and then you'd be set, and you would have a plant that's not root bound. Alright, so what we're going to go ahead and do, I can't hold the camera while I do this. I didn't bring a tripod out with me, so I'm just going to give you a shot with the plant in there. Actually, I probably can just lower this in, and then I'll have to situate it. But you get the idea. Just a moment. Okay, so I've set it so that the plant is about the same level as the soil that it's going into. Remove any little sneaker weeds here trying to get in. This other plant on the other side is a catnip that's just dormant. I'm going to leave that, and that'll also be happy to grow in there. And then the rest of them, just going to fill soil back in around this and top up anything that doesn't press in firmly. Always want to make sure you have a good firm press around your newly planted plant so that the soil is consistent and you don't have weird dry spots from lack of moisture, from lack of soil on your roots, because that can make it hard for the plant to adjust. So you want to be as favorable to the plant in this transition as possible. It never hurts to firm a plant in a bit with your hands, just to make sure that it's in good contact with the soil all the way around. I'll go back and top this off with some of this, and then that's that. I just thought I would share a few transplanting, pruning tactics, techniques. I will immediately follow this transplant with a shot of C-stem and also a pruning. I'll come back and show you after I do a heavy pruning on this plant what it looks like. Alrighty, topped up the soil, firmed it in a bit, and gave it a bit of a heavy haircut. I probably would take a few more of these spindly guys off, probably like that. Bang, just take that back, and then we'll give her a feed and let her rip, and should be a happy plant. Should get pretty monstrous, kind of like these over here, which if you look at the base of these, you can see there's my thumb in comparison to that one. You can see that's turning into a little tree. So, and there's a couple more in here. So there's 3 in that big pot, and they're rocking. And then there's actually another one back here that's part of this whole cluster. That's a whole nother pot with a whole nother monster rosemary plant, and it's due for sizing up too, so I'll have to find another large pot to jump that up to. And I guess I'll just show you real quick the avocado that I did the pruning job on the other week. You'll see there's new growth showing up on here already. Yes, we still have some white fly issues, but we're going to deal with them in the next couple of weeks, I would say. Well, the work never starts. The work never stops. So this is rosemary that I gave to my mom that she brought back to me to nurse through the winter, and it was pretty deficient in water over the latter part of the summer, and it took me a while to even get the soil to take water and hold it well. We have reached the saturation point now, but overall this plant was doing pretty well up until late fall. I think it took a mild frost. Anyway, so I noticed it was quite root bound, and this one we're keeping in the same pot. Wow, look at the steam come off my hands. We're going to keep this in the same pot, which is this green pot over here. So I realized that was a great opportunity for the root pruning demonstration. So this one is not so heavily root bound, so I don't think I'm going to prune it. I think I'm just going to do some scoring. And so that's basically just kind of tear these roots up so that they're kind of broken, and they'll reach out to repair and make new connections with the soil. And it doesn't take a whole lot. You can use a knife if you prefer. I just kind of have at it, kind of scar it up a little bit. If it was root bound around the edges real heavily, you could go around the edges and do the same thing. Alright, and this wasn't quite enough soil in this pot, so I'm going to go ahead and add some. And we'll get this thing a little more soil, and then I'll probably top up on the top a little bit as well. I apologize for the rough camera work. Alright, so fortunately this guy has a real strong stem and root mass. That soil probably weighs 25 pounds, and you can see I'm picking it right up by it. I would not recommend doing that with a plant, but I kind of know what rosemary can take. And so that's the simple way to do a root prune to keep a plant going in the same pot. As I mentioned before, if it's more root bound, you'd want to actually cut off some of that root mass to spawn new root growth. But anyway, so real simple way to do it. I'm probably going to come back and throw a little bit of goat manure down on this because I know this soil is a little low in nutrition, and then this will also get a foliar feed along with the other stuff that's getting transplanted tonight. I also just transplanted the same deal up on this citronella. I want to get that up into good health. Going to start propagating that, and yeah, so that's it. So update to the update. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network. So this is all the prunings from the rosemary in the greenhouse tonight. It's quite a heavy pile. It smells fantastic in here. Just thought I'd share. Okay, a little bit of cleanup complete. Went through and did my humidity run. I just take the watering can and I soak everything down in here to get the humidity up. In fact, we'll take a look at the chart since we have it in here now. This line right here is humidity, and of course you can see it climbing since I just went through with the water. This is a stove here, and if we go back out a little bit, you can see temperatures we're looking at. Anyway, and we got about 125,000 BTUs in the bank, so I'm going to give this one more stoke and we should be good. It's currently 25.7 degrees out. So there you go. Anyway, I just wanted to show that kind of reached a point where I'm kind of tired and hungry and I'm going to eat and hit the sack. But things are coming along here. I made some good transplants. Plants are happier and healthier, have a little more space. Got rid of some dead weight, so to speak. Tomorrow I will capture these Hawaiian orange marigold seeds. I'll probably start a flat of those and then save the rest. And I'll carry on with cleanup and organizing in here. Oh yeah, I did transplant this rosemary as well into that monster pot there. That's the one that the coffee tree that died from the coffee shop was in. And I'm going to see if I can get my friend Steve to take some of that coffee tree and maybe carve some spoons or something cool out of it. So we'll see if that works out. I think that stuff is pretty hard wood, so it might make good carving material. Alright, so this is really the end of this video. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video or you want to subscribe. And hope we'll see you for the next video, whatever it may be. Thanks for watching.